out of 10.
All right, let's go ahead and get started this morning if we can, please.
Call this meeting to order at.
Good morning, everyone. We're going to call this meeting to order at 9:04 a.m. on Saturday, April 25th. Can I get a roll call, please?
Billy Albrock, New Mexico Commissioner.
Scott Gibbs, Colorado Commissioner.
Kim Smith, Casford, New Mexico Commissioner. Commissioner Mark Graybill is absent and excused. And at this point in time, I want to recognize Mayor Ernest V. Hill. Thank you, Mayor, for your hospitality and your generosity. We really appreciate the opportunity to meet in this facility. It works very well for us. Billy, you want to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all so much for being here. We're going to do this meeting a little differently today because of a technical error in our posting and our the OMA requirements. So this will be an informational meeting only. We will not be taking any votes on any of the agenda items. We will move through the agenda and you will be able to hear all of our reports. And so with that, we're going to start with our Superintendents Report. Marvin. Pardon?
Move the agenda.
We can't vote.
We have to amend. We can amend it.
We can't vote.
That's true.
That's true. You there? Okay.
Okay.
We talk. You can't do anything.
We stayed pretty busy for this last quarter, trying to see how much we can accomplish, and trying to see where we're going to land up here with some of the situations that we'll be facing as we come along. But overall, I think mechanically, we'll be doing okay. I have gone into Osier a couple times where I think we're pretty much set to go there to start doing some of the work we got to do in there and get that set up when the season starts. So I don't anticipate any big problems there. We are facing some challenges with the springs, the mountain springs. They're not flowing like they normally do, but we can all, we all know why. I mean, we had a very, very dry winter, and we'll work around those issues as we're going. But I think we can solve all that. A little bit of patience, we put a little bit of effort into it. I think we'll be okay on stuff there. We have been, we started working back in January trying to build a new parlor car, and we're at the point right now it's been insulated and all that. We're going to get ready to start doing the interior work inside it, and that's, we'll continue doing as much work as we can that through the summer, and we're trying to shoot to see to make sure that it's ready to go by next spring, if not sooner. So that's coming up on there. We did do some primering on our hopper cars because we had a lot of graffiti on there, and the only way we can get rid of that is to come throw some paint over it. But I do ask that anybody sees somebody riding on that stuff, on those cars and all that, don't chase them away. Just explain to them why we don't want it. Let's not create a hostile situation. Let's just work with them too. But it doesn't look good when it's on on the stuff that people see when they come to our property. So we gotta work on that. One of the things that we're gonna see this summer is, once in a while, we will be seeing our train, when it comes up, stop and take water at Lava. We got the Lava water tank operational, so that's something that hasn't been done for years, and that will be, you know, we're trying to have it in full service all summer long. You know, and plus that'll also help us, you know, with this drought to where we have water in various locations in case, you know, of any situation that arises. You know, I have talked, and I had a discussion with the person that we all know here, which is Pablo Montenero, out of the state forestry, and he's willing to, and he's going to come and provide a wildlife fire training course for our employees. That way we can train a few more people on there for just in case of a situation. You know, we have a little bit more backup, but we will be doing that, and that's coming up, you know, the first week of May. So, but that's also set up for our crews. You know, that'll help us as we go along. You know. But, other than that, you know, all our equipment is ready to go, so we're pretty well situated, if not, as far as, you know, for the season, for when it starts. We have locomotives that are, you know, we got 4 locomotives that are basically going to be ready at the start of the season, and by having this, I think we've come a long ways. I think you know, we're a little bit ahead of the game now. You know, so as we're coming along, we've gotten, I'd say, we're starting to get people involved and looking at what we have and what's coming up. One of the things that I see, we're starting to see a lot of people show up and look at some of the work that we're doing. You know, we're starting to get people walking around in the shops, coming to see, well, what's this? And I think that's a big plus of what I've seen, you know, on my side of the mountain. You know, I was very proud to see that the locomotive we brought from Alaska, it no longer says White Pass on it. Okay, now it says Cumbres and Toltec. You know, I think that was a big accomplishment. I think we can utilize it in a better way now, because we can show it off as ours. You know, our territory, everything. We'll be able to, do things with it, and it'll reflect of us doing the stuff. Before we were using it to dump out and everything, but on my side, we were giving credit to some other railroad because of the labeling on it. Now we're going to label stuff, you know, for us. It's you know, it belongs to us. Let's use it our way. Let's do with it, and let's brag about it. Go on. You know. So I can go, but that's where we're at. So, but if you got anything else, I'll answer.
Thank you, Marvin. Does anybody have any questions or comments for Marvin?
No questions, thanks for
No
all you do.
Thank you, Marvin.
And thank you for the cloud logo on that locomotive. Thanks, Max.
Thank you, Max. That big thanks to your team for pulling that off. That was quite an accomplishment.
So our next report is the Chief Mechanical Officer's report. Stephen Butler, and I think Scott's going to read his report, and then we have Stephen on the phone in the event there's any questions for him.
Yeah. So, this is Stephen Butler's Commission Mechanical Report. The Chum and Antonito shops are nearing the end of our winter locomotive and passenger car maintenance. Tentative plans are to have locomotives 487 and 488 out for opening day. 463, 488 will be serviceable, but it will depend on fire conditions as when we start running them. 168 will have its annual done at the beginning of the summer in time for its first scheduled operating days at the end of July. 315 should be returning to the railroad at the end of May or early June. Locomotives. 168 will need an annual inspection in June. No repair work is planned on it. It is scheduled to run at the end of July, beginning of August. 463 is in Antonito receiving trailing truck work. The work includes getting new equalizers, pins, and bushings that went into service mid-November and will not need an annual until November of 2026. 484 is stored, waiting on a 1472 service day inspection. 487 has had its 5-year flexible stay bolt inspection. Six stay bolts and sleeves were replaced because of damaged threads in the sleeves. It passed its annual inspection with the FRA at the beginning of April. The tender is having wheels and axles replaced with new. Work is progressing on assembling the locomotive. 488 passed its annual inspection with the FRA at the beginning of April. The spring rigging has been gone through with new equalizers, pins, and bushings. Some work is being done to the drivers and driving boxes. Work is progressing on assembling the locomotive. 489, the annual is done last spring and the locomotive has not been put in service yet. The spring rigging has been rebuilt with new equalizers, pins, bushings. The drivers are all back in place with new crown brasses and hub liners. Work is progressing on assembling the locomotive. 492, boiler has had the Form 4 calculations started. The FRA has been out for a visual inspection of the boiler with the tubes removed. 3 of the firebox corners have been cut out for replacement. Stay bolts have been cut out to install a flannery pattern of flexible stay bolts, and all lower rigid stay bolts in the lower portion of the firebox are being replaced with hollow stay bolts to be ready for when it might have to be converted to burn oil. Work on all the running gear will start in the summer of 2026 as the Chama shop has time to begin keeping the regular trains in service. We're able to look through the K37 files in Durango that had come out of the Alamosa shop for these locomotives. Between what we have in our records and what was in the DNS files, Stephen was able to come up with a lot of documentation on the 492 as well as the other K37s. With what work had been done to them over the years, this includes drawings and calculations for the 492's new boiler barrel and firebox that were installed in 1948. The work the boiler had been done was the main reason it was picked over the other K37 locomotives. 15 is in service, but needs some work. He's working on tracking down some replacement pumps and a new reverser. 19 is in service and running. 114 has been painted to celebrate the 150th of Colorado and 250th of America. Staffing. In order to minimize overtime, he's going to try to have a minimum of 14 shop employees to cover 3 shifts, plus keeping the machine shop concentrated on machine work. This will give us 7 days a week coverage with 2 employees on all shifts other than the night watchman. We've started to interview additional people. Facilities. Dan provided his report for March. It included the foundation drawings for the pavilion and is designed by Spencer. An engineering survey of the roundhouse was done to review the structural issues that we need to address. We're waiting on a final report and recommendation of the work that needs to be done. Passenger cars. Flat top ADA car has gotten a new interior with a new restroom and a snack counter similar to the other ADA cars. All the coaches have received their annual inspections this winter. Work has started on the 6th first class type car, and work will continue on this new car next winter. Respectively submitted, Stephen. There were a lot of discussions on various message boards a while back about 492 versus 497. And since I'm the one that ended up making the decision which one was going to go back in service, I thought I'd address it. And Stephen has dug into a lot of the paperwork, but we actually did some ultrasonic measurements of both locomotives as we were trying to do that make a decision which one was going to go forward. And 492's boiler was in much better condition than 497's. 497's was actually pretty thin. And with what we're seeing on the Form 4 calculations for 492, the work on the firebox and the barrel on 497 would have been pretty extensive. So it's playing out now as we're getting into 492 how much better condition that locomotive's in than 497 was. And I'm the one that made the ultimate call. So people now have the backstory.
So good call.
Any questions for Stephen? I've got him on the phone. Okay.
Thanks, Stephen.
Thanks, Stephen.
Next up is our financial report from Alicia.
You want to keep listening? Okay.
Good morning. So I'll just kind of give you all basically an overview. So through March 2026, the organization remains in a strong financial position. So our Historic Preservation Association and the Commission to continue to perform favorably with positive net income, although the operating company, it does reflect a seasonal operation loss consistent with our pre-season railroad operations. So if I look into our operating company and reviewing it from prior year, we do see that our net income where currently is sitting with a decrease from prior year. However, the cash balances remain stable across all entities. There's no, our expenses remain generally in line with the operational expectations. So, however, we do see an increase in our operating expenses. Currently, the organization is financially stable and well positioned entering the peak operating season. Positive results that we see from the historic preservation, which includes our operational revenue and the commission. We do see our summer revenues favorable for the outlook of the remainder of the fiscal year for 2026. This is pretty much concludes my financial report. I'll just kind of inform that we do have, so going into the operating season, we do plan to have our employees come back May 13th. So that'll start with with our CPR training. We do have about 19 employees coming back and some additional new hires. But I think that's pretty much it for me as of right now. Any questions?
Comments?
Any concerns?
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Alicia. Appreciate it. Next, we're going to hear from Robert Stefanski, who's going to give us a marketing report.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, everyone. I'm happy to present the Coon Tall-Tech Marketing Report. We are seeing strong year-over-year growth in both ridership and revenue. Ridership is up about 14% and booking revenue is up about 11%. Importantly, this growth is occurring while we're operating under a reduced marketing budget, which speaks directly to improved efficiency and focus. Driving this performance is a deliberate shift in strategy. We've moved away from broad, low-intent awareness campaigns toward higher-intent audiences, meaning people who are either planning their trip or ready to book an experience like ours. That means we are, let's see here. We are prioritizing fewer but more qualified interactions throughout the funnel. The shift in strategy is showing up on our website and channel performance, where we're seeing stronger engagement quality and improved conversion efficiency across traffic sources. Of note, our NewMexico.org display campaign delivered a 22.6 conversion rate, which is nearly 10 times the industry benchmark. Our Texas monthly email campaigns have achieved a 35% engagement rate, achieving significantly higher than the typical 2 to 3% performance that we typically see. On our paid media side, our Google campaigns have generated over $22,000 in revenue so far. It's been running about 3 weeks now. Our video campaigns are performing very strongly. We have a 55% view rate, which is well above industry averages. So we are reaching audiences we are reaching the right audiences and we're converting them efficiently, which is what we want to see. Our organic and earned media continue to perform well. So far this year, we've secured 58 media placements with an estimated $4 million in publicity value. This includes national and international exposure, contributing to strengthen our long-term brand awareness and credibility. From a marketing channel perspective, our organic search remains our top revenue driver, generating over $211,000. Direct and referral traffic continue to reflect growing brand recognition and intent across our markets. Geographically, our core markets remain strong. Colorado, New Mexico, and Texas are our top drivers. We are continuing to see contributions from other states. California, Arizona, Florida, Illinois are also in the top 10. Looking ahead, we're continuing to operate our marketing strategy as intended, still targeting high intent, high conversion channels that are efficiently driving revenue today. We will be working to replenish what we call top of funnel demand, bringing people who are not familiar with the railroad to our website. So that means utilizing channels such as video content, other forms of digital storytelling, influencer partnerships, and other broader awareness campaigns designed to introduce new audiences to the railroad before they are actively searching for us. This approach ensures we're converting existing demand efficiently and consistently, feeding our pipeline with future riders. We will continue to work on leveraging our email and social channels to engage with our audience, connect with our audience as we move throughout the season. And we will continue to review and refine the website to improve the user experience, improve the booking flow, make it easier for our users to book, and maximize conversions from every qualified visitor. I'm really encouraged by these early results that we're seeing and the upward trends that we're seeing across efficiency and revenue performance. I think we're seeing a system that's producing more riders, more revenue, and a stronger return on every dollar that we're investing. So that's the direction that we're continuing to build on as we move into the 2026 season.
Questions, comments? Guys are
Robert, do you want to mention our USA Today?
Yes, so we are once again nominated for Best Scenic Railroad, USA Today. We are currently ranked #1. I do need to update the website with the link, but if you go to our social channels, we do have the link there as well. But I know we have been sending emails out about that. But you can vote once per day, similar to the past. I believe voting closes May 11th. So please spread the word. Please set reminders to vote. I set a reminder every day on my phone to vote in the morning. So set reminders, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your social channels, tell your networks. We haven't been #1 since 2020, I don't think. So we've been #1 since day one, and I'm hoping that trend continues. So hoping we can take that honor home together.
You can actually vote once per day per device.
Yes.
So if you have
That is
multiple
correct.
devices, you can
So buy a ton of
stuff the
phones,
ballot box.
buy a ton of laptops, computers. Well, but yes, it is once per day, once per device.
Are we the railroad, going to send out our constant contact with that information?
We already have
Have we?
twice.
Okay.
Yep. So we did, and we still have future emails planned for that as well. So email, social, website. We do plan to do a full marketing push. So
Thank you.
you're
And when
welcome.
does the voting end?
I believe it's May 11th.
So that sounds.
Yeah, Monday.
Thanks, Robert. Appreciate
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
it. Next is local affairs, and I think I have a couple of things that we want to discuss. I think, Mayor, we're working on the fence, getting that fence repaired. I believe Stephen stated at your village council meeting that they've decided how many poles they need to buy. Marvin shaking his head yes, so just know that that's a work in progress. Wanted you to hear that directly from us, that we are aware of it, and our goal is to get it done before opening day. So,
And in the past, Mayor, the railroad bought the material and the village installed it. Are we still doing that, or is the railroad absorbing all of it?
We could be. We could work with that for sure.
We'll have Stephen or Eric get with you. Okay, thanks.
and then we've received a letter from Councilwoman Victoria Gonzalez regarding the possibility of a static display of a locomotive. This is something that's been discussed in prior years. I think 2013 was the last. Well, no, that's when her employment ended. Anyway, there's been some discussion about it, and I think that it's come up again. So We want you to know, Mayor, that we are interested in addressing this with you. My suggestion is gonna be maybe a task force of, if Victoria wants to serve on it, and get a couple of people from the railroad so that they could actually explore the reality of this. And I think there's gonna be some roadblocks, but it's certainly something that we're willing to take a good hard look at and see if there's a way that we can figure it out. Are you gentlemen in agreement with that? Some kind of, I just think that instead of us just saying, well, who's gonna do what, if we can come together and meet together as a group, then we can move forward with it. If you wanna assign somebody, then we'll go forward with that. And would you like to address the group today?
The only thing that comes to my mind today is, if there's water in the village of Chalma, if there's water in the river, we will have our tanks full. The water will be good. Right now, I think we're ranked #1 in the state of New Mexico for quality drinking water. If you go to the New Mexico Drinking Water Bureau, you'll see that we have the highest ratings in the state. #2, I had a meeting with Tyler Lates from Okewinge, and I just thought you guys should know that I refused to sign a contract with them, giving them all the water rights to the village of Chalma. But he did mention to me that us and the railroad were the only ones that did not sign that. He goes, so when I go in there and shut the railroad off this summer, I want them to know, I want you to know, that's probably what's gonna happen. And I said, we'll see, Tyler. But I kind of in favor with you guys, and I'm not giving our water rights to anybody. So, I mean, I don't know where that's gonna head, but he actually did make that comment, so I thought you guys should know.
We appreciate that, and I
Yep.
think that we are working with the state engineer's office, and we basically, for the same reason that you declined, but we also are talking with a water rights attorney in Albuquerque too, so, I mean, we have to have water.
So he was going to schedule a meeting with the state engineers and the village of Chalma. When that date comes, he hasn't responded yet. Would you wanna be invited?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Billy will go.
That's fine. I'll be more than happy to invite you guys.
Yeah,
But he
yeah,
hasn't
please do.
gotten back to me.
Yeah,
So, that's where we're at right now.
yeah, if you would include Billy, cause he's our water expert on the board, so,
Yeah, me and Billy had talked earlier,
okay,
so, but yeah, I'll definitely invite you guys.
okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, and thank you again for allowing us to meet here. I think the community as a whole, as communities on both sides of the hill as a whole, are very nervous about fire, and I think Marvin's addressed that, and we're just all kind of sitting around waiting for the rain to come. I think it's supposed to rain tonight, but I don't think I have anything else for community.
I can't think of anything either other than we're still getting a lot of questions on the schedule, and well, I'm as confused as anybody else. So, but it's going to work. We have faith that it's going to work. So,
So then I guess we will move on to capital projects.
I think Marvin's report and Stephen's report covered almost everything. There is a lot of ballast to be spread, and with the very dry conditions, spreading ballast is not going to be held up by trying to clear snow. So I think the repainted ballast cars in 114 will probably get a workout fairly soon. So many thousands of tons. So that will be good. Keep the track in shape. Other than that, I think we covered everything else.
So next on the list of items to discuss are tracks across borders, and I'm actually calling John Porco right now. Hi, John. I can't figure out how to put it on speakerphone. There it is. Okay, I have. Oh, he hung up on me.
Hello.
Hi, John. This is Kim. We have you on speakerphone so that you can address the people in
Okay.
attendance.
Okay, sure. Are you ready?
Ready when you are.
Oh, okay. Well, quicker than I expected. We're sorry that neither John Bush nor I could be there in person, but we certainly do appreciate the opportunity to give a report on traffic across borders activities. We've had a very active spring. First topic I want to mention is signage. I think you may already be aware that we were able to get the historic marker at the Continental Divide on US 64 replaced, thanks to the New Mexico Historic Preservation Office and New Mexico DOT. So that's actually been up now for a number of months. But as far as new signage goes, recently a typical wooden "Welcome to Colorful Colorado" sign has been erected on Archuleta County Road 531, which is the lightly traveled dirt road between Navajo and Juanita. It's really quite impressive for that little back road, but the sign was provided by CDOT, and it was installed by Archuleta County at no cost to TAB. We also have a new interpretive sign at the ghost town of Juanita in front of the old church and school, which I'm sure most of you have been past. Kind of an interesting spot, a historic spot on the Byway. That also was installed by Archuleta County. We have a very good relationship with Archuleta County. So that gives us two interpretive signs, the other one being in Navajo State Park. And of course, one of our goals this year is, as money becomes available, we want to install hopefully at least 2 or 3 more interpretive signs. We also have procured some additional directional signs, which I'm told, I haven't seen them, but I'm told have been installed by the Jicarillas in Dulce, which there were no directional signs in Dulce, so people may have been confused when they're traveling on 64 and 64 makes a turn in town, but the byway continues straight ahead on what's called Narrow Gauge Avenue for obvious reasons. We should have 2 new directional signs placed there, as well as one at Juanita, where there is the old water tank and railroad bridge. As far as events go, we're going to have a table at the Durango and Silverton Railroad's Narrow Gauge Day on Friday. And the following week, we're real excited. We're co-sponsoring with Visit Durango, which is the city agency that promotes tourism in La Plata County. We're co-sponsoring a traveling byway photo exhibit. This exhibit includes 52 photographs, large photographs, 2 from each of the 26 Colorado byways. It'll be at the Durango Visitor Center on Main Avenue, and it'll be in place until August 3rd. We're planning a number of public receptions. I have never seen the exhibit, but I've seen pictures of it, and it's really quite impressive, because we do have some spectacular byways in Colorado, including the San Juan Skyway, the $1 Million Highway. So I guess I'm saying if you happen to be in Durango anytime up through August 3rd and you got a few minutes, stop at the Durango Visitor Center and take a look at this exhibit. We have several new board members, which we're pleased to have. Both county managers from Archuleta and La Plata counties have joined our board, and which is good. We've had representation from both before, but both have new county managers, and they have agreed to participate. We also have a new representative from Visit Pagosa Springs, which is the Archuleta County Tourism Organization. We are still working hard to try to get representatives from the Southern Ute tribe and from Rio Arriba County, but so far we haven't had much luck with that. And finally, we're hoping that the railroad will continue, the Cumberson Toltec will continue to support the Story interactive tour app that we use, the TAB uses, the Friends use, and I believe the railroad also uses as a means to inform travelers of important spots on the Byway, around the yard in Chama, and on the train trip. So again, we've been quite active the last few months. So that's it for my report, unless anybody has any questions.
Questions or comments for John? How are you doing with your fundraising efforts? I know that was a concern at the last meeting.
Yeah, well, we've had one nice donation, actually from a private individual. One of the original founders of TAB was very generous. Other than that, we've had relatively disappointing luck, but we're working on it. We're just looking for businesses that have an interest in supporting TAB. We're not asking for thousands and thousands of dollars, but just we have typical of this kind of thing. We have 3 levels, 200, 500, and 1,000, and there are benefits to each. So we're working. We have several irons in the fire, so to speak, and we haven't really been real aggressive in reaching out, but we're going to be kind of pushing it a little bit in Pagosa and Durango and in Chama as well. So if anybody knows a business in Chama or elsewhere that might have an interest, let me know, and we'll certainly get somebody there or get me there and get them information on our sponsorship program. Thank you for asking that, Kim.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate the information. Anybody else? I think we're done with you, John.
Okay, well, we're looking forward to a good season. We hope we get some folks traveling between Durango and Chama and riding the railroad. That's our goal, is to enhance tourism, among other things, including helping to interpret the culture and history of the region. That's really our main goal. But we do also hope that we're helping with tourism numbers. So anyway, thank you again very much for joining, and I hope to see you at the next commission meeting in person.
Sounds good, John. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Next up, Friends of the Cumberson Toltec. Thank you.
Well, I'm always glad to be in front of the commission. This is Bill Locke from the Friends, and I wanted to give you a short report on the organization and a little bit about our work session this year. We are in the process of beginning interviewing for a new executive director after the resignation of our previous short-term executive director, and we have one excellent candidate. We're going to be interviewing him in the very near future. Also, of course, always having things fall due at the same time. Our long-term office manager, Gwen Lotz, has decided to retire, and she's been with us for 21 years. And she started this job after she retired from another job. So and she'll continue until we get a replacement. And she'll help train the replacement. She's extremely loyal, but in any event, we're setting up interviews next week with a number of people to assume that position. Our charters planned for this year. Last year we had 3 charter trains. We're going to only do 1 this year. That will be our Moonlight train on June 27th. That's a Saturday night. Should be a good time, a little bit earlier than we've tried it before, but the moon dictates a lot of that, and so we're going to try and have a really nice time. I've been in touch with our new caterer so that we can have a nice dinner at Osier. And so we will not do a member train this year, but we are working on a special event between C and D sessions in late June to get our members together for a meal and discussions. We have approximately 1,760 members now, with a new membership chair. Steve Jorgensen's working on membership, and of course we want to increase that, but our volunteer registration this year is going great. It's the first time we've had a volunteer registration entirely online. Now, somebody who doesn't want to do online still can register manually, but it's worked out really well, even for people that are not that great on the internet. So we've worked out pretty good on that. Very happy with the results. And one of the items that had been on the agenda was that we discussed in the HPCC meeting yesterday. We're very excited about the work that Scott Gibbs has done, and I thank you very much, Commissioner, to talk about how to deal with some of our deaccessioning policies and making sure that we have a great number of display equipment, but not everything that we have in our inventory. So this year's projects are going to be pretty cool. We've got projects, as always, all across the railroad and in Colorado Springs. We're going to be working in A and B in Antonito, and that's in May. Then in June, we'll be working on Antonito and Chama for sessions C and D, and then we'll be back into Antonito at the end of the year. We're also hoping to try and do E&F sessions in Chama, but right now we're waiting for team leaders to be able to lead that. Some of our projects are just the typical projects that we do, and I'd be happy to answer questions about any of those projects rather than take your time to go over them specifically, but I can if you wish.
Nope. Questions, comments?
Questions?
Okay.
Good. Thank you, Bill. We
And-
appreciate the friends very much. You are such an integral part of this
Thank you, guys.
property.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bill referenced some of the work that Scott's been doing. Do you want to just briefly discuss what you've done, since we're not going to be voting on it just yet?
Yeah, we were going to hold a vote, but we won't do that today. One of the things that occurred many years ago with the designation of the property as part of the National Historic Registry was there were many freight cars that were actually placed into the registry specifically by number, which locks in those car numbers. And some of them have degraded to the place where you would be essentially building a replacement car rather than preserving an old car. And so we got in touch with History Colorado, and they walked us through, Stephen Butler and I, an approach that they use for all the historic artifacts that are in the Colorado collections, many collections. And they suggested that we approach an amendment to our current National Historic Registry designation, creating a collection for track right-of-way buildings, which is really the physical part of the registry designation, and then a collection that we manage for locomotives, and a collection we manage for the non-revenue wooden car fleet. And their point was, as we walked through this, your historic designation is probably most at risk by letting the entire collection continue to degrade, rather than picking some pieces that are maintained as operational, some pieces that are maintained as museum exhibits, and some pieces that may be deaccessioned or used for spare parts to preserve the rest of the collection. And then manage that effectively so that we have high quality museum exhibits and high quality operational cars for things like photo freights. And so walking through this with them, they said get policies in place at the commission level first, and then once you have policies in place for how you're going to manage as different collections, then begin the process associated with what that is going to look like for your locomotives and what's it going to look like for your historic freight cars. And right now the railroad probably has the largest collection of wooden freight cars anywhere in the country, potentially even in the world. So we want to make sure that we don't have, as we've seen, if anybody walks through the end of the Chama yard, a number of high-side gondolas have degraded to the place where they've completely collapsed. And 2 years ago, we actually had to pick one up with a forklift and move it off because the side had fallen off and was blocking the main line. So we need to do a very good job on probably a smaller set. We currently have 176 items in that total fleet. And between the dollars that the Friends raise and the number of volunteers the Friends have to maintain that collection, they're spread too thin. And so working with the Friends, we're trying to come up with an approach where we can manage this effectively and represent the history of this railroad and do it in a high quality fashion. So that's just a summary.
And I will state that we'll be having a special meeting as soon as possible to vote on these two items. I think we have one more that needs to come before us for a vote as well. So at this point in time, Mr. Sam, I think you have a statement you want to read. How are you going to record and
It's all Sam.
magic? Sam magic?
Hi there, folks. At our last regular meeting, Commissioner Grable asked me to introduce myself, and I was kind of caught by surprise for that because I was getting ready to break everything down and clear out the room because our gracious host there was anxiously waiting for me to get out so he could lock up and be done. So I didn't do a very good job of introducing myself, so that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm Sam Sieber. I'm from Lakewood, Colorado. I fell in love with the Cumberland and Toltec Scenic Railroad 20 years ago. I've been doing these written reports. So, the recording, I've always had a copy of the audio, and I've been doing written reports for about 11 years at the request of a Chama resident who, at that time we were having the meetings here in Chama at the Senior Center, and it's kind of an echo chamber, and he had a hard time with his older ears hearing what was going on. And he said it'd be nice if somebody just wrote up a report, put it up on the internet. He could just bring it up on his screen and hit all the highlights, and that's the reason I started doing this. Later on, because I was getting copies of the audio from Steve Forney, who originally did the video, about 3 years ago, he was ready to retire from that job and asked me to carry on with the video, which I'm more than happy to do now, and I enjoy the work. One of the advantages of me doing a written report is it's, of course, accessible by all with just internet access. Just like with the video, you can bring it up on your screen, turn the volume up to whatever is good for you. So it works out very well for anybody that, for instance, doesn't have the opportunity to travel here. I've got an audience worldwide, which is rather humbling. Also, the advantage of me rather documenting this on and having it on the internet is the search engines see my work, and thus if you're just trying to search for a topic that may have come up in a commission meeting, there's a pretty good chance the search engine will direct you to the right report so you can then get the details from it. Also, I went to the Denver Train Show 2 weeks ago, representing the Galloping Goose 5 folks. And while I was there, I had several name tags on because I have one for the show and one that I wear anyway. Many people recognized my name on there and thanked me for doing the written reports. And that's rather humbling. And thanks to all of you that read my work on that. One thing I think is curious is I never get any comments on the video, so I don't know why. But maybe it's because of my written reports you can go through in a few minutes, and the video, how long is this meeting? Now we're 55 minutes into the meeting. You're taking an hour to watch this. My commission reports get about 600 to 900 hits per meeting, which is within the first 2 weeks of the commission meeting itself. And it, I think, varies based on topics that were anticipated to be covered. And for instance, I think this one will be a pretty high hit one because, you know, especially with this being a solely informational meeting, and most people right now want to know what's going on with the railroad before we, you know, get the thing open and, you know, what the status of things are. This will be a big hitter. Video, not so well. I do somewhere between, say, 70 and 130 hits on the videos. And I think, like I already mentioned, it's just the amount of time it takes. But the video does exist because I paraphrase the what I do in the reports. It's not a transcript by any stretch, but I do get just about everything that's spoken and try to terse it up a bit. But if you want to know exactly what was said and how it was said, the video was there so you can see if I flub up. If you want some real fun, read my report while you watch the video, see how I did. A couple of years ago, one of the Johns from the Friends, I can't remember his last name right now, mentioned that I did pretty good. You know, my report was pretty darn close to the video. So, and of course, my first priority when I get home, like today, is get the report up first, because, like I've said, that's what everybody wants, and I try to get that done by midnight tonight if I'm not too gassed when I get home. I'm feeling great, so it'll be up by midnight. The video will be up probably sometime tomorrow before midnight. And with Commissioner Grable not being here, I'm sure he'll find either the report or the video to be beneficial, so he'll be up to speed in a jiffy. And by the way, my reports and videos are accessible. If you go to the Commission's website, there is a link there for all of the reports and videos that have ever been done. So there is a master link starting at the Commission website where you can drill down to what you're looking for. I also want to thank commissioners, current and past, and the various Coomers and Toltec employees that have smoothed over access to our meetings. We're always meeting in somebody else's venue, so we need their permission and work, and all of you have made that a lot easier. Mayor Vigil, for instance, is, and his City Hall staff here have been great for helping me out here and getting things all set up. So I want to thank you, Mayor, and pass the thanks on to the employees that work in here, because I was here for a couple hours yesterday to get things set up, and they are just super wonderful people to deal with. And thank you very much. And I just want to know I enjoy what I do for this, and it's a lot of fun, and I plan on continuing it until my body says no more. So if you have any questions or comments, I'm happy, but other than that, this probably just about concludes our meeting.
We really appreciate all you're doing.
Thank you.
Bill?
I'd just like to thank Sam very much for someone who is hearing impaired. His microphone and earbuds are really, really valuable to me.
Yeah, I provide wireless headphones for anybody that might have trouble hearing.
Well, we really appreciate the service that you provide for us, because it has become invaluable on several occasions where we could go back and hear verbatim what was said. And so thank you. And
Thank you.
We really do appreciate all that you do, Sam. So I think at this point in time, unless you two have anything you'd like to add? Billy?
Nothing.
No?
Nope.
This concludes our informational meeting. Thank you all for being here.